What annoys you most about celebrities, and why? The consequences rarely fit the crimes they commit. Committing murder and having nothing happen to you because you're rich enough to avoid jail, and there's men in prison for 10+ years for weed dust. Privilege literally means private law. It's one set of rules for the rich and famous and a different set for the rest of us. Fines are just the cost of doing whatever you want. There's a lot, but something recently just happened that made me furious. Ellen and her show is being investigated by their network for having a toxic work environment. Something that former and current employees are coming forward with. Celebrities are now hashtagging #ISTANDBYELLEN to show her support, and some like Katy Perry and Ashton Kutcher are saying, "I have always been treated with respect by Ellen. She has showed me nothing but kindness. She's a great person." Ricky Gervais was right when he said these celebrities are so out of touch with the real world. Of course she'd treat her famous guests nicely, because if she was rude they wouldn't come back, and she wouldn't have a show anymore. It would just be her sitting in a couch and being a B to everyone. That they are given more weight to their words than experts or scientists. This doesn't annoy me about celebrities. What's annoying is the culture that facilitates it. This gets to the real issue. Celebrities are people who are entitled to their opinions like everyone else. The real problem is the media and culture who then elevate those voices. Taylor Swift isn't holding a gun to BuzzFeed's head to share a quote of hers, but BuzzFeed will still share it and call her queen for her generically good statement. Reddit is no better. We are the ones upvoting every story about a celebrity donating money or doing something basic that your neighbor, the mailman, is also doing without getting the attention. Again, the celebrity donating or speaking out isn't necessarily the issue. It's a good thing they are doing that. It's sus acting, like they are the second coming of Gandhi for donating the equivalent of me giving $50, or Malcolm X speaking truth to power because they attended a protest along with 100,000 other people. The news articles, man. LeBron James first one to use stadium's new toilet. Stupid s like that drives me insane, and there's billions of those STI articles, lol. Kylie Jenner, brave for taking off fake lashes and hair extensions. She's a self-made gazillionaire. If you ignore all the family money, you also have to ignore all the poor morons who donated money to her to help push her over that 1B mark. They are given so much free stuff, but have the money to pay for it. Kendall Jenner back quote, "I tried stealing these designer trousers off set, but they caught me. The designer found out and sent them to me anyway." Wait. Are you serious? Yeah, 100%. She brags about it on her Vogue wardrobe tour vid. They don't annoy me. The fact that we, as a society, worship and shower them with wealth and platforms for their obviously useless opinions on complex issues is what is annoying. Haha. Seems like no one is ready to have that conversation. Our adoration towards celebrities is reflected directly by our culture. It kinda seemed like that was gonna change in the beginning of the quarantine because of all the love doctors, nurses and scientists were receiving, but unfortunately it didn't stick. They're fans. I can understand if you like an actor or musician, but they are not just gonna see you in the crowd one day and decide to marry you. It's not gonna happen. Are you saying Harry Styles isn't going to marry me? How hurtful. Don't worry. There are plenty of other hairstylists in the sea. If they commit a crime, they are less likely to get as long of a sentence as a non-celebrity, especially rappers. I love rap, but a rapper can shoot up a children's hospital and be out on bail in 2 weeks. Thinking that they can close off multiple streets with no problem because it's their show. Thanks for making me late to work. Lena Dunham. PS your show sucks, eh? The way they try to seem relatable. We're all in this together. No the F we are not. We are walking while you're flying. Stop trying to seem like you're one of us cause you're not. It's like they don't realize that simply not saying anything is a valid choice. It is until they get yelled at for being complicit in the badness for not using their platform. It's a lose-lose for them often. The way they never ever acknowledge their nannies or housekeepers or personal chefs or assistants. Then they're all #SELFCARESUNDAY and hey, you know what? I'd maybe have time for self-care too if I never cooked or cleaned or had to do every damn thing in my own life in the few hours between working and sleeping. If people knew how many staff were in America's Sweetheart / Captain Awesome's mansion 365 days a year, they maybe wouldn't be quite as relatable, I guess. When Kumail Nanjiani got shredded, he was sure to highlight that it would have been impossible for him to get in that shape without the help of the trainers, chefs and nutritionists provided by the studio. I appreciated that. Rob McElhenney has said similar things. Their honesty is refreshing. Trivial problems that make headlines in shitty tabloids. I saw one posted on Reddit in the past couple of days about one of the Kardashians bravely foregoing full slashes and beauty treatments during the pandemic. I don't know how they cope. Hello peasants. I sit here in my $1,000,000,000 mansion and drink champagne that would pay your mortgage off. I have been asked by a charity that paid me millions to ask you people that can't even afford to put your kids through college to give this charity money to save the starving dolphins of Africa with AIDS and Ebola enough money so they can get shoes. Now I myself am not going to give them money. In fact, they are paying me to do this ad. Enough to buy a boat, but you who have so little need to give money to this charity, or else you're a scumbag and I as a celebrity that you like will hate you forever. Please give generously. This is what I hate. It's like a guy with 100 Mars bars asking me to give a starving child half of the one I just bought. How a lot of them believe they're a gift to the rest of us lowlifes. As much as I like Kanye's music, gotta admit, this pretty much sums up his attitude. The culture of worship that surrounds them. Because it's stupid. Humans will always adulate other humans though. It's like baked into our DNA. If not celebs, it would be kings. I think most of the hate here is directed at younger actors and musicians who were chosen at childhood by agencies to be stars. Those people can easily develop narcissistic tendencies. However, people like Samuel L. Jackson, who only started acting at age 30, or any actor or musician who has ever worked in manual labor are more often honest people than not. Harrison Ford was a carpenter, wasn't he? Anyone got any anecdotes to confirm he wasn't a rashlet? He is a very antisocial guy who struggles with social anxiety. If you notice, when he is promoting something on a late night show, he usually does a sketch instead of a normal interview because he can focus on his lines and performance and not the crowd. When they don't actually do anything worth being famous for. Cough Kardashians cough cough. Telling people that if they try hard they are gonna be successful and accomplish all their dreams. It just makes poverty seem like a mental thing. It sounds cute and encouraging, but it isn't that simple. Yeah, as a result of that, countries like the US and the UK do not want to invest in social programs to help people in poverty or are homeless because we were basically told that it's all their fault. That if they tried they could get out of poverty and homelessness when actually it is much more complex. Just so out of touch with reality. Seeing a bunch of rich celebs singing back quote imagine having no possessions in the middle of a pandemic is not inspiring, it's enraging. I was there throughout the lockdown. That if I were a rich celebrity, I would close my doors and windows and keep fucking quiet, as this was exactly the time when you could expect peasants coming to your front gate with torches. Only an idiot draws attention to themselves during such time of instability. It's really best to keep your profile low instead of rubbing it in. I think one thing that is irritating to me is celebrity children, for the simple fact that once they hit a certain age or even sooner, our society is gonna provide them with all the adoration and opportunity that anyone could ever ask for. Essentially they are only famous because they have famous parents, and sometimes I look and think, would we care about anything you are doing if your parents weren't famous? I think it's kind of hypocritical how some celebs will be 100% against showing their kids or having news outlets take pics of their kids. But then when they want their kids to be in a movie or have a singing career or basically just be a public figure, then all of a sudden they want all eyes on their kids. But that is more of an issue of celeb worship than the actually celebrities themselves. They think, just because they're famous, that their opinion matters when most of them are uneducated. The fakeness of their lives, especially the Kardashians, all show tremendously overpaid and shallow. Meet the Kardashians doesn't need to exist. All it is a bunch of whiny rich girls crying over the most simple s that even kindergartners won't cry over. Most of them spend more time worrying about their image than about other people's quality of life. To be fair, their image is their job and responsibility. Other people's quality of life isn't. That they somehow think or try to be relatable. There just is a big difference between them and the average human. Like that YouTube video Gal Gadot posted at the beginning of COVID. I still cringe at that sometimes. Or when Shane Dawson acted all surprised by all of Logan Paul's possessions, even though he lives in a mansion himself.